Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostip and this is going to be part 28 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Danes. And it feels good to be back. It has been, what, two weeks since I did play the last episode? So it's been a while and yeah, I did talk about it in the last one, but I have been just moving my upload schedule just to one video a week, which feels pretty bad. I just need the extra time to get ready to cover Rome later on this year. So I have been playing more Rome, obviously. If I have to play any battles in this episode, it's probably going to be pretty rough. I did finish my Oda campaign last week, so it's just going to be Danes from here on out. That is the good news. I can just focus on this campaign. That, you know, one video a week that I can upload will be in this campaign. But yeah, this is going to be this way for a while, which feels bad. I really enjoyed putting out as many videos as I was putting out before. That just felt good. It felt comfortable. You know, it felt fun to do, and I miss it. It's kind of funny. Like, I'm playing Rome right now, and I'm playing it without talking, which is like, you know, it's been a while since I've really put that much time into a game where I haven't been talking out loud while I've been playing it, which is kind of funny. Anyway, so this campaign, I'm pretty much like fine, right? It's the year 1342. I am in the late period now. I'm pretty well on points, 156. I'm ahead, not just ahead, but like, there's no real competitors, right? The Hungarians, you might think, oh, they're only 16 points behind me. Well, the Hungarians have been gobbled up by the Egyptians, and the Hungarians themselves are only surviving here in Corsica and Genoa. And that's it. So I'm not worried about them doing any damage from here on out. The main powers are the Egyptians and the Almohads. So if we go back into the GA points and see, how, you know, can they catch up? Well, the Egyptians. This is what they're making. So what, 18, that's 22, that's 20 points, I think. And they are 40 points behind me. And I'm making a lot of points. So I think I'm going to stay ahead of the Egyptians. And then the Almohads as well. They are doing well, but again, their points aren't that great. But they are doing very well, and this is really fun for me to watch this, because I don't think I've ever seen the Almohads do this well in any of the campaigns that I have played, so this is pretty cool. Yeah, Egyptians and Almohads, like, they all meet here in the center as well, with the papacies kind of sticking their heads out as well. Which is kind of funny. They don't quite have the power of the other two nations, so they should do well to stay out of it. But they are right there. And then there's the Mongols, of course, and you know they're there. It's kind of funny. It's like the Poles; they still exist, and it's almost like they're holding me and the Mongols away from the Almohads and the Egyptians. It's kind of like that small guy in the bar trying to break up a fight, you know? It's like, you have no business being here, Poles. It's just like, get out of the way and let the guys brawl. But yeah, you know, I don't intend on fighting the Poles, and I don't really intend on invading into the mainland areas. I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. I am making 11,000 per turn. I'm sitting on over 300,000 in the treasury. So that all feels pretty good. And if I recall, really the only thing that I'm playing to for this campaign, to finish it off, is to invade the Egyptians at some point, just for funsies. I would like to build up to getting late game armies so that I can just show them off and just play around with pikes and guns. I think that can be kind of a fun way to end the campaign, is by invading Egypt. Now, I thought I was allies with the Almohads at one point. Thought I was, but maybe. Yeah, no, I'm fine. But I am using my agents to disrupt their territories, and it is working actually. I have a bunch of cardinals here in Navarre, and I have caused Navarre to go rebel, and the rebels are now training soldiers here in Navarre. They have a 2-star general. Navarre has iron deposits, so Navarre is a good province to train units at. And yeah, they have a +2 bonus to attack, and they have a +2 bonus to armor as well here in Navarre. So it's not like great units, but just archers and handgunners, you know, that's something. It's just kind of funny, you know. And I have been causing problems in Portugal as well. Currently it does belong to the Almohads, but I have been causing problems here with just a spy. I have not even brought in my cardinals yet to cause issues here. But I have spies in the regions that do not have border forts. And I'm using my spies to spy on the generals that are in the provinces where they are located. And that is causing them to get some bad traits. So let's see here. Not to this one. Ooh, this one's a good target. Because one of the traits that is caused by being spied on is it lowers loyalty. And so only 3 loyalty, like he could be in some trouble if I get this spy. Because none of these are those traits. So like he has not been worked on yet. So I can get this spy. And yeah, start working on him. And then what about this 2-star general, 5 loyalty? He has also not been worked on. So let's get this spy working on him. I have been working on the generals. I just think that they've been moved around to other provinces. So I think that's it. Let's see. What else? Who else? Yeah, so this is an example. So he has 3 loyalty, and spy network is one of the vices, and it will get worse. So this is already causing -3 loyalty. So down to 3. And I believe if I get him up to assassinator, I think it's going to be -5 loyalty, I think. So yes, let's keep working on him for sure. No spies in Granada because they have a border fort. Morocco, yes. And yes, they have the assassinator trait, -5 loyalty. If he was a governor, it would be -40 happiness in his province that he's the governor of, but he is not a governor. But yeah, 4 loyalty, it's not like the worst thing, but hey, it's you know, I'm working on it. I don't think there's any point on working on him any longer. I think assassinator is as high as that vice goes. But what about you? Is it worth working on you? Yeah, why not? Let's start spying on that guy. And then I think I have some spies up here as well. Tyrolia, yes. So 6-star general and 6 loyalty. Assassinator. Okay, so that's... So he has that much loyalty even with the assassinator. Okay, well that's fine. Then what about you? Yeah, you're just a handgunner. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. And is there any other places? Switzerland does not have a border fort. So I have a spy here. 2 loyalty, yeah. So, yep, that's with the assassinator traits. Yep, so he's in, you know, that's not great. Oh, they are training Swiss halberdiers. That's cool. That is a unit that is unique to Switzerland, as you might imagine. And yes, informants. So I am working on him. So let's continue to work on him. And what else? What else? What else? 2 stars and that. So check him. Let's work on the 2-star general. Okay, he's already been assigned. So don't cancel that. Okay, that's fine. And I think that's it. Everywhere else has border forts, so I'm just not using my spies there. Actually, Burgundy does not have a border fort. It does. Never mind. I know Toulouse does not, but they don't have a port, so I can't get there easily because Provence and Aragon and Aquitaine all have border forts. So, and Anjou as well. Yeah, Anjou. I could still send spies to Toulouse to try to get in. They can get past the border forts. I would lose some in the process. But the higher the valor, the higher the chances of getting past. And I am training Valor 3 spies here in Livonia, so... Or I thought I was. Maybe I'm... Am I training Valor 3? No, I that requires a fortress, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it does. Huh. Okay, well that's something I could work on. Yeah, that's fine. I can just wait until I have really good spies, and then I can try to go after these provinces that are a bit tougher to reach. I think sending a Valor 1 spy is just kind of asking to waste money, you know, resources. I think, maybe there's a good chance. Let's see, other than that, I'm not really training many soldiers. I am building boats. Why am I building this many boats? Building caravels. I'm building cogs here in Finland. This is my tier 3. Caravels, which is my tier 2. Barks, my tier 1 boat. Why am I building so many barks? I can finally build caravels here in Wales and Scotland. That feels good. Wessex, I want to build them. I have them build cogs at some point because they get a +1 valor bonus to cogs. So that will be in the works eventually. Yes, let's see, I can assassinate this papal bishop. 50% chance, okay. Yeah, 3 valor, okay. I see you, bishop, I see you. Maybe keep training. Can I get some assassins somewhere? Do I need Livonia building barks? Is that an emergency? What's going on here? Why am I doing this? I'm at war with the Egyptians. Okay. Is that why I'm doing this? Because of the war with the Egyptians? So can I get out of this war? Do they have boats? They don't have any boats. Okay, was this... Okay, they attacked me a while ago, didn't they? And then I just said, heck with it, like I'm still making 11,000, so who cares? Is that what's going on right here? Still, why am I training so many boats if I'm fine with this being the... Maybe I just want to fill up these regions with boats? I don't know, it's kind of weird. I feel like I don't need this many barks being trained or built. Like, I feel like training chivalric knights here in Denmark would be better, because these are going to be a key component of my late game armies. So I'm going to need a lot of these. Even though they are expensive, I can definitely afford them. Yeah, I think that's the play. Denmark currently is the only province that can train chivalric knights. Saxony eventually will get there, but I think they are at least 1 or 2 buildings away before they can do that. So yeah, chivalric knights, I want them just for, well, the mounted version, but also the dismounted version is going to be a key component of my late game armies. I think pikes and guns and chivalric dismounted knights will be a very good combination. So yep, that's going to be the play there. And what else? So I'm not at war. How's my king doing? He is 32. 5 influence is fine. He's married. Does he have any sons on the way? He has a brother. That wouldn't be his son. So he has a brother that's 10 years younger than him. And he doesn't have any sons on the way. But he's still young. Prince Canute. So his younger brother. 2 stars. And he's not married, is he? Well, I'm hoping that my king will have some sons eventually, but just to be safe, let's try to get Prince Canute married off. And I have an emissary right here, and there's a Polish princess right here. So let's do that. Princess Sophia. Let's see if she'll be the bride of Prince Canute. I kind of do want to keep training assassins. Can I only do that in Livonia? I feel like I had another province. Yeah, you're training the cardinals, which I want to keep going with that. Do I have a place here? I can do it in Northumbria. Okay. Zero Valor assassins. That's fine. I think I'm just using them to kill emissaries and bishops that wander on into my territories. So that's fine. Let's just keep training Zero Valor assassins here in Northumbria. I'm not using them to like venture off in enemy territory, so it's not like a high stakes thing. I'm just kind of keeping my borders clean. You know, it's funny because I know that technically it is possible for enemy or other factions emissaries to bribe my own forces. I've been reminded of this a few times by viewers, and I had almost like wondered if it was actually possible because I'd never seen it happen before. And I currently did just see it happen to another YouTuber. I was watching Count MRVHS, and I was watching one of his campaigns where, yeah, one of his armies was bribed by the Byzantines. And so, yeah, it definitely, like the AI emissaries definitely can do that. I was wondering though, it's just funny. I feel like I've never seen it happen to myself. And maybe it is because of this. Maybe it's because I generally keep my borders pretty clean of enemy agents using spies. Maybe that's a part of it. I also have wondered at this as well. I've wondered that we know that the enemy, or just the AI in general, will well, they know what your moves are before they make their moves, because the turns do go in succession and the player always goes first. So I've always understood that, but I think also I'm tempted to think that the AI does actually like to scout out provinces before they make an attack. That's just something that I've felt. It feels like having enemy agents inside of your provinces is kind of a precursor to an attack. And I've wondered at times if by assassinating these agents that are in my territories, I wonder if I'm sort of delaying their thought process, you know, them kind of thinking about it. I don't know how border watchtowers plays into this, because if we see this, like there's border forts in Franconia and Friesland, so you would think that that wouldn't matter. I mean, we're not at war with the Almohads, but, you know, I'm making a point here. I've wondered about this. I have. And not just in this game, going back to Shogun, really. You know, I've wondered about this as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just something to think about. Just something to ponder, I suppose. Because I feel like I don't know. I know I do build a lot of armies, so that obviously is a deterrence. But it also sometimes feels like, you know, there's other ways to deter attacks. And, I don't know, maybe killing enemy agents that are spying on my territories is one of those ways. Anyway, so I'm sending this. One thing I'm not doing is killing princesses, because they could potentially, you know, be an option for marriage, of course, right? So I'm glad I'm keeping these princesses alive and not killing them just because they're hanging out. She wants to hang out in Pomerania. You know what? Be my guest. I think Pomerania might be a GA objective for the Poles. Is it? No, it's just Poland and Silesia. So that's it. That's all they got. Stand fast. What's this? Ooh, they're not going to get that one. And the Jagiellonian University, a university in Poland. Ooh, man. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get that as well. What do they need? A fortress for that? And they just have a keep in Poland? God damn, that's so haggard. I mean, they have a castle in Moldavia. That's something. Yeah, that's pretty haggard. Okay, well, so I'm going to stay at war with the Egyptians just because it's more work than it's worth, I think, to bring all of my boats back into regions that don't border the Egyptian provinces. I mean, they have so many provinces, right? They just stretch out over so much territory that it would take so long to break up my trade routes to go all the way over here and then get that ceasefire, which always ends up taking longer than I anticipated to take. And then I find out that I'm missing a province and I have to do, you know, it's just, you know what? I'm making 11,000. Like, I feel like I'm doing okay. You know, that feels pretty strong. And why prolong this? I say that as I'm reaching almost 20 minutes here on the intro of this video, but why, like, you know, stretch out this late game? You know, just get my armies that I want to fight with, do that, invade Egypt. I don't really have a plan yet. Maybe I'll come up with one. I'm thinking about just like invading Greece. Maybe with 3 or 4 armies. Maybe 3 field armies and 1 siege army. Just invade Greece and just get some battles in. You know, poke my head around. Maybe take Constantinople. Maybe draw some armies off of Hungary and maybe, you know, fight them. I don't really want to go into the desert. That seems bad. The desert is rough on heavily armored soldiers, and if I don't have to go down there, then why do it? Why not stay in Anatolia or, you know, even the Baltics? So, or the Balkans, should I say? Yeah. That's kind of where I'm leaning. You know, also, if I'm looking for a fight, this is kind of, you know, this is the best chance of getting a fight, a big good old fight. Is going to be up there in Hungary. So if I can draw them down, and yeah, maybe by doing that, I can sort of instigate a war between them and the Almohads, and then I can just kind of sit back and eat popcorn and watch that war as I finish out the campaign. So that's kind of what I'm aiming towards there. So yeah, all right, there we go. There's my intro, and I'm going to continue on with this campaign and just sort of keep on cruising through. Am I close to getting? I need to get pikes somewhere. What am I doing with that? I think I'm doing that here in Novgorod, and And I'm just now building a town guard, which is the tier 2 militia building. So, yeah, it's going to be a county militia. It's going to allow me to get pikes, I believe. Okay, so I'm not too far off from getting pikes, and I can get guns in Prussia. Yes, I can train arquebusiers and handgunners, but I'm waiting to get the final tier of gunpowder building so that I can train guns with +1 valor, because that increases their chances of getting kills with their guns. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing there. And then, as I mentioned before, I'm working on getting chivalric knights in Saxony eventually. And that's pretty much it. Like, that's my late game army, is like, you know, chivalric knights and dismounted knights, guns, and pikes. Or pikes. Yeah, that's, I think, fine, maybe? Well, I do not like this. The papacy is sending their inquisitors up to Sweden to harass my generals, and it looks like, yeah, one of them has been taken. Don, of course he's been, his name, gosh. Oh no, that's the inquisitor's name, Don Innocent Machiavelli, and the accused is Lord Skotkonung. I don't know. Yeah, so this means he has been executed. And yeah, I don't know if that was a good general or not. I do have a few up here, as you can see, some 3-star generals. So he could have taken someone good. I just don't know. This is obviously where I'm keeping my reserve forces. So this is a good place for an inquisitor to hang out. It's kind of funny because the last couple of turns that I cut out, the papacy has been just showering me with 1,000 florin gifts, which has just been kind of it's like I haven't been doing anything, but thank you, I will take it. And then at the same time, they've been sending assassins and inquisitors to my territories, which is pretty funny. Now, I did cause a big rebellion in Portugal. I want you to take a look at this in a moment. Yeah, look at that. Let's see how they did. Yeah, the Almohads are the strongest. Okay. The Egyptian Sultan has died, naturally. Okie dokie. And yeah, we're catching Polish assassins. Papal assassins, yep. More papal assassins. And, oh, it looks like the man that was inquisited was a governor of Northumbria. Because the governorship is back on the table. Okay, that is interesting. So he did kill one of my governors. Well, the Merchants Guild has been finished here in Ireland. That's going to be some more money for me. And I think there's just one more merchant building that is available after this. So next I can build a citadel and then the master merchant, and that will be good to go. Famine in Wessex, so income halved here. And I will have to check in on the loyalty just to make sure that that's not an issue as well. And I do have a daughter on the way, and I do also have a son on the way as well, that he was born like the last turn or so. And my king is still young, so there's going to be plenty of time for my son to come of age. Let's see, so anyone, Sir Eric Skotkonung, hedonist, so he's a 2-star general. So 2-star general who's a hedonist, that's -1 valor, so it's going to make him not a great fighter in combat. Same guy is also a zealot plus 20% zeal in governing, but he's not a governor, so it doesn't matter. And then anything else, 0-star general doesn't matter. And okay, 2-star general plus 3 acumen. So maybe he can be a good new governor for Northumbria. I will take a peek at him right now. Holy shit, yeah. Wow, he needs to be a governor. Wow, look at all that acumen. God damn. Is that 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 acumen. Holy moly. Wow. Yeah, decent dread as well, plus with a 3 dread. And what does the Northumbrian governorship give? More loyalty. So, like, he's fine with 6, but he's going to be brought up to 9 loyalty. God damn. Who is this man? He's a chivalric sergeant? Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. Well, let's make him... Should have checked the finances, but making 2,500. And yeah, Earl of Northumbria. So I would like to see who was that? Who died? I want to see someone who is missing. Because one of these units is going to be missing one man. And that's going to be the unit that needs to be retrained. If I think it's worth it. Like, it might not. Yeah, so it's probably this guy. So, the new captain is only 3 loyalty. That's not great, actually. Sir Olaf Flossen, or Flossison. Yeah, very honest. +1 morale, +1 loyalty. Okay, so that might get... This is one of those traits that might get better. And now that he is the new captain of this unit, maybe he will improve. The 3 is like, meh. I do have a princess that just came of age, I believe. Princess Berengaria. So maybe she's going to be an option here. Yeah. Or no, that's this guy. So why is this feudal knight unit? Okay, that's a little confusing. Maybe this used to be the general, but then the last guy was killed and then it switched on over to him. Maybe that's what happened. Let's keep looking. Let's see if there's other possibilities here. So I'm not seeing anyone that is missing 1 man other than that unit of feudal knights. So yeah, he can be... I can get him married off. Yeah, why not? So let's send you to marry him. And that can bump his loyalty up a bit. And then you can be retrained. Can I train feudal knights here in Sweden? No, I cannot. And I should probably fix that. As considering that Sweden is the province... It's my one province that has iron deposits, which means that it's the one province that can improve weapon or the attack upgrades. And so it should be, in theory, my best troop producing facility in my entire empire. Norway as well, considering that it has the cathedral, which would give +3 morale to any units. I think I should be spending more... Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing. I kind of spend a lot of effort into making these provinces team up to become these fantastic provinces for training Vikings. And it worked. You know, obviously, I have good Viking units. But going into the late game, I don't really intend to continue to use Vikings. I had thought about it. I had thought about using them in place of the dismounted chivalric sergeants, just because they kind of serve the same purpose. You know, being a melee, a bonus versus armor melee unit that supports the pike and gun units in my late game armies. I figured I'd do that just to keep the Danish flavor alive by using the Vikings. But, you know what? It just feels kind of silly. It is a very anachronistic unit. I mean, the Vikings were outdated pretty much by the time this campaign started in 1087. And by the year 1346, it just feels a little bit silly. I understand that the devs wanted the Danes to have a unit that remained unique throughout the entire campaign for them. But look at these guys. I mean, this is the year 1346 and they look pretty outdated for what the time period is. So I just don't... I'm thinking I need to catch Sweden and Norway up so that they can also start training some units that I intend to use in the late game, right? That makes sense for the reasons that I just stated. And what would that be? Should I do like chivalric knights in these provinces? I feel like that's going to take forever. I already have a fortress in Sweden, so I would just have to build the militia buildings and then it would be able to train pikemen. Yeah. It's crazy that the county militia building requires a fortress just to get pikemen. That's like really insane. I thought that I was ready here in Novgorod. I thought I just needed this one building, but the town militia is just trains halberdiers. And that's the citadel level militia building. So then I need the fortress, then I need the county militia. Holy shit, that's a lot of... That's a high-tech unit just to get pikemen, which aren't that great. They're fine, and they're fun to use if you can kind of, you know, build around them the right way and support them. But, you know, they are not a game-breaking unit. You know, they're kind of weak in a lot of ways. So it's kind of funny. You need a fortress. Fortress how long do they take? They take forever. I have a fortress being built somewhere. It takes 20 years to build a fortress, 20 turns. Oh yeah, it's so long. So yeah, it's funny, like I can train up to chivalric knights with a citadel. You know, and that's a game breaking unit. Chivalric knights are amazing. So yeah, that's just kind of funny how that all works. Okay, anyway. As soon as I'm done building this master armor here in Sweden, I probably should start working on maybe a horse breeders guild to get the chivalric knights. Having some really beefy... You know what? Yeah, how about I do that? I can do... It feels better since I can get the weapon upgrades here in Sweden and I have the morale upgrades here in Norway. It feels better to get the pikemen here in Norway just so that they can hold longer. But there's a citadel here and a fortress here. I'm closer to getting pikes here than I am to getting pikes in Norway. Actually, I'm working on the fortress. I'm only a couple turns away before I'm finished with the fortress here in Norway. Yeah, so let's do that. Norway will be my new pike province. I'm going to get pikes here in Novgorod and Lithuania, but I'm just thinking about these provinces just because they're so teched up, you know? So, yeah, let's do pikes here in Norway and then chivalric knights here in Sweden. And that can be what I work towards going forward. All right, let's bring this so that feudal knight got brought down here and you can be retrained. And let's get an assassin up to Sweden so that we can kill this inquisitor. And yeah, you have 1 star. Yeah, 1 star. Assassin, 66% chance of killing that inquisitor, so I can bring over a bunch of 0-star assassins as well. You can go over here and you boom boom. Yeah, let's just bring all of these guys over. I might need a couple of them to kill that inquisitor. Yeah, we'll see what kind of damage he does against my generals up there in Sweden. Now, down here in Portugal... Damn, did the rebels get beaten? No shit, eh? Wow. Okay, I should have showed you that army last turn. It was good. It was a good army. They had Gulam Cav units and arquebusiers and a bunch of Almohad urban militia as well. That's wild that that rebel army lost. Oh, that's too bad. I guess they did take a lot of damage off of these armies. Still, yeah, that was... Wow. Okay. Good job, Almohads. And then what... Wait, what is going on here? What is this? Did the papacy bribe this rebel army here in Navarre? What? Oh, that's wild. And if they have boats connecting their territories, which they do, oh my god, they have boats connecting their territories to Navarre, so they can reinforce this. Holy shit. The papacy can, like, for how weak they are, they're gonna have the Almohads kind of... Are they at war with the Almohads? I want to know. They are not, but that could change. Interesting. And the Almohads did take Genoa off of the Hungarians. So yeah, that's just going to leave the Hungarians with Corsica. They're in rough shape. Yeah, they are in very rough shape. Interesting. Papacy making some moves there. And there's still nothing going to happen though. Yeah, I wonder if the Egyptians and the Almohads will fight. Or are they just going to be buddies because they're both Muslim factions? You know, like I feel like there's a lot of fighting between them, all of the Muslim factions over in this region because they share certain homelands objectives. But up here, they don't. You know, like they don't really have to fight each other if they don't feel like they have to fight each other. If they're going to follow religious lines, it kind of just could go, you know, Poles or the papacy or someone weaker, right? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on that going forward. The fact that the Egyptians have kept the Turks alive just in this hobbled state for this entire time kind of indicates that they don't really care about them, you know? Yeah, that's going to be interesting going forward. And I think the Egyptian Sultan just died as well. So I wonder, let's see if I can find, where's the new one? Down here in Arabia. 3 influence. Okay, that's not great. And he's inbred. That's not a great sultan. That's a sultan, right? Yeah, sultan. Huh. Loyalty is looking fine. Yeah, I wonder if that would change over time. I feel like the low influence on faction leaders doesn't quite hit on the first turn. Sometimes it seems like it takes a turn before they realize how much their leader sucks, and then they go, oh, we're not loyal anymore. Like this Almohad leader, he's down to 4 influence, which is like borderline, isn't it? And I have been causing issues. I'm actually quite proud of the issues I've caused here in Iberia so far, so yeah, I don't know if it's making a difference, but it feels like I'm, being annoying at least, which feels pretty good for someone who is making, okay, 9,000 per turn. That's not as much as I was before, but I'm building a lot of stuff and training. I'm training chivalric knights, so those aren't cheap. How much are their upkeep, actually? Yeah, 85. Holy fuck. Okay. Yeah, it's, I guess for every knight you have to pay a squire. You have to pay like 7 squires per knight. Like, it's just a whole retinue, A lot of mouths to feed. Oh, yikes. God's judgment on the world. Plague and death now hold dominion, and the dead are almost numberless. No town, no village, no household has been spared. The living suffer the torments of the damned. The stench from the plague pits carries the black death to all corners of the world, and prayer is the only salvation. Now, despite that, I don't know if this has an effect on the campaign at all, which, if that's the case, that's a missed opportunity for sure. Okay, so Sir Olaf Fossesen has been wed to my daughter, so he should be happier now. And let's see, you are very charitable, and you are a 2-star general. I don't think that matters. No. True zealot doesn't matter unless you are a governor. And then let's see, minus 40 happiness. Again, you are not a governor. No principles. Okay, so you are easier to bribe, so that does matter because you are in command of a large stack here in Prussia. It could be an issue, but I have assassins there who... Okay, that's a Polish emissary. I should probably kill him quickly. And then anyone else. 2-star general. Let's see, educated, that's good, and fervent does not matter. Okay, well, we did kill that that Inquisitor up in Sweden. That felt good. I think it was you that got the kill. 3 Valor now. Yep, that feels pretty good. So you got 2 Valor from killing him. Nice. Good kill. Good freaking kill. And you are now up to, you were 3, now you are 5 loyalty. Good, yes. Alright, well, that Inquisitor did get someone else before he died. So let's find out who that was. And that is going to be it for the Holy Roman Emperor. The Almohads really took their time with them, and they kind of let them hang on for a long time. But they finally went all in on it, and they got rid of them. So, you know what that means. Now there's going to be a chance for a Holy Roman Emperor reemergence. That's the way that I see it. Alright, let's see. I lost an assassin going after an Egyptian emissary here in Palestine. Oops, my bad. I lost track of him. And then another spy got caught here in Franconia going after a Polish emissary, I believe, maybe? No, this is my spy here. Okay, I don't know what my spy was doing in Franconia. Okay. And yeah, I'm catching enemy assassins here in Lithuania. Nothing about where he is from. And yeah, Papal Assassin. Citadel's finished here in Wessex. So now I can build the final tier of the merchant building here. And the Master Armor is finished here in Sweden. Town Militia finished here in Novgorod. Fortress finished here in Norway. Okay, now I can finally start building the militia buildings to work my way up to the county militia and get those pike going here in Norway. Body house finished in Livonia. I believe that's the 3rd tier of spy building, I think. So that's going to give me +2 valor spies. And the Hungarians are looking for an alliance. Nah. There's no point. I'm not threatened by them because they only have Corsica, so I don't really care about them. Alright, governors. Great builder. It's a good trait for a governor. Builder. Another good trait for a governor. Secret envy. Not a good trait for a governor. Goddamn. I just gave this guy... So this man, Lord Ericsson. So he used to be part of the royal line, I believe, because he is married, or no, did I? No, I probably married him to a princess in one of the last few episodes, maybe. But I feel like I needed to get his loyalty up, so I gave him one of my princesses, and just in the last episode, I gave him the governorship of Ireland because I think that my Irish governor was inquisited by that papal inquisitor. I think so, at least. But yeah, I gave him the governorship of Ireland because it gave +3 loyalty and +1 command. Him already being a good command general, I thought that was a good move. And then secret envy, which is really annoying. +1 dread, but then -2 loyalty. So I think that's going to get worse once that's discovered, I believe. Man, that's a rough one. Yeah, that is a rough one. Let's see, anything else? You affable. Okay. And then +3 piety. And then +2 morale. But you are not a general. Okay. Okie dokie. Well. Now the Pope moved to Navarre. Man, bold move. Bold move indeed. I mean, you just have like archers and different variety of ranged units. Your only melee unit is a 41-man unit of basic spearmen. Holy moly. Bold move, Pope. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work out for you. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Portugal, very low taxes. They finally did build a border fort here. So they're getting smart. You know, they're starting to figure it out. I was able to move my spy back in after my last one was caught by the border fort, so let's just keep him there. Hopefully he continues to survive. I think that spies get valor by bypassing border forts. Maybe not. I think you already were valor 1. But now I can get better valor spies here in Livonia. Yeah. So now I can get valor 2 spies to replace my valor 1 spies, because the higher the valor, the more they will drop the loyalty of the provinces where they are stationed. And here we are. We have just scored our homelands objectives, which is just the 6 points. Is that it for homelands? Is that all we're getting? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, 5 for Denmark and 1 for Livonia. That's it. Okay. All right, that's fine. We got a bunch for the Kalmar Union, which is, of course, that, which is, yeah, that's it's just a funny way to display that. Like, you get all of those points for getting 6,000 florins, and is that, like, in, you know, like, 1 turn? Yeah, I don't know. But hey, I got all the points, so that's all that matters. And then, yeah, Conquest is going well as well. So we are sitting at 176 points. And yeah, we are just so far ahead. The Hungarians are suffering. They have like they just have 1 province, and that's all they have. So they got 1 point. And yeah, the Egyptians, yeah, we're ahead by 40 points still. So yeah, they got their 20, but you know, yeah, we are doing A-okay. And the Alma heads as well, not too threatening. All in all. So I'm going to wonder if the objectives are going to change next year. I am curious to see that. But yeah, this is going pretty smoothly so far. We are still making 11,000 despite the fact that we've been training chivalric knights and building expensive boats nonstop. So yeah, that feels pretty good. That just probably has to do with my merchant buildings being upgraded. Yeah, that's it. I still have some more upgrades to put in. So we have more to go. Oh, we have a lot. I didn't realize how many boats we had here in the Irish Sea, so I can move out a lot of these and just send these boats to the Mediterranean. I do not need all of them here in the Irish Sea. Some boats are nice, but yeah, I don't need that many. That's for sure. Hey, awesome, and we can finally start training chivalric knights here in Saxony. Awesome, that's very, very nice. That's going to give me another province with which I can use to train those units up. And yeah, let's send these guys to Lithuania, just because this is sort of a province that still does border a lot of other enemy territories. Yeah, that's going to be nice. So, chivalric knights are going. Let's see, what upgrades do I want for the chivalric knights? I already have the Armorer's Guild. I suppose I should go church. The church is going to allow me to build the monastery. And then from there I can build the reliquary, and that's going to be giving +2 morale for my chivalric knights. Yeah, so let's do a church first, and then we can, after getting the reliquary, we can get a fortress and get the highest tier upgrade for the armor building. There's a higher tier, right? I think there's one that gives +4 armor, I think. Yeah, the master armor, that's right. Let's get that at some point. Now, I just have had one of my princesses come of age, and I was checking through my generals to see if there was anyone with suspect loyalty that needed to be shored up. And I have put 3 generals here in the bad boys bin, here in the corner of Sweden. And yes, there's a 4 shield loyalty man, not the worst, but then 3 here in Sir Geller Tryggvason. 3 is not good, and I was thinking I would have him marry my daughter to bump him up to 5. Now, he's not a general, really. He's just in command of this stack, so yeah. And there's also this, he's 4, 4, and then 3. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, and then I went over here and I saw, okay, like, you're fine. You have 7. 4's meh. And 1's bad. 1 is pretty bad. He has good acumen, so he could be made governor of some place. I would have to strip someone of their titles first and do all that. Ooh, we have a Polish emissary here, or inquisitor, should I say, here in Saxony. Okay, you know what we do with inquisitors? We kill them. So yeah, let's get rid of him. And you know what's funny? So I was sort of like, I was experimenting with this mechanic earlier in this campaign where I was trying my generals for treason just because I didn't have any assassins available at the time, and I needed to get rid of some low loyalty captains or generals. And it's interesting. It doesn't really explain like why you would do that instead of using your assassins. It has the same effect. You are trying them for treason and then they get executed. You know, like, that's what happens. Now, there might be an instance, I haven't played with this enough, but I think that sometimes maybe they can be found not guilty, and then I don't know what happens then. Does their loyalty raise? And then you get to keep the general, you know, instead of having them killed off? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know if it matters either. The thing is that in this game, the captains of the units get to keep the stats of the general that existed prior to them. So when these generals die of old age or in battle, I believe, as well, then the unit keeps the stats of that general. Now, so I don't know if that really matters if you get to keep him because he's found not guilty in a trial. You get to keep his stats. I think you're going to get to keep his stats otherwise, you know? So I don't know if that's We can experiment it with it though. I will say one thing though, and this might just apply to my style of my gameplay style. But one reason why it's nice to have the spies be able to try generals for treason is because I always have them. You know, I always do have them. Now, eventually, you know, I will get to the campaign where I do have assassins as well. But typically I go for spies first. It takes longer to tech up to them, but I don't really need assassins until I'm, you know, in a good spot. They're not a really pivotal part of my strategy. I just like to have them around to clean up my borders, essentially. That's pretty much it. So yeah, it is nice to have spies be able to do this because, you know, I can frame him for treason and see if I can get rid of this 1 loyalty dude. And then back over here with this 3 loyalty dude. I mean, I guess we can get him married. Even though he's not really a good general. But affable is good. +3 acumen and +30 happiness. He could be a decent governor at some point. Let's get him married to Astrid. And then over here, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're fine over here. Okie dokie. And we did lose Livonia in the homelands, so that is no longer counted for us, so we won't be getting that 1 point. So instead of making 6 points for homelands, we will just be making 5, which again is fine, I think. I think we're going to be doing A-okay in regards to our GA objectives. Okay, so Sir Ulf Skotkonung has been brought to trial, and yes, the case against the prisoner was well crafted, the trial was swift, and the execution was public and bloody, a fitting warning to all. Okay, that seems to indicate that there's a possibility of him, you know, of the trial not being well presented, I guess. Right, let's see, so in this case I did kill that Inquisitor, hurrah. And yes, spies going to work. The Byzantines are happy, just hanging out on the islands, as they should be. And yeah, still catching. It's just crazy. They're sending so many assassins. The Polish as well. Guys, you could afford soldiers if you weren't training so many gosh darn assassins. My goodness. Yeah, papacy just going ham. Oh, just like that. Oh, you want to send assassins and then you want to... Yeah, get an alliance. Yeah. Well, honestly, no. I don't know if I'm still going to attack Sicily at some point, but just in case I want to attack Sicily at some point, you know, just to reaffirm my historical rights to that island, maybe I'll do that. Anyway, Sir Geller Triggerfinson has been wed to my daughter, so. He should be happier now. And yeah, man, Sir Eric Skotkonung just getting fatter and fatter. -3 valor now. Do not get that man in a fight. He will die immediately. And he's a fanatic. Yeah, that's how it goes. Let's see. Deep Thinker, -3 piety, +3 acumen. And lazy. Okay. Okie dokie, let's see if this solved this issue. So he's... Okay, so the next captain of this unit is now a 5 loyalty captain. So that seems fine. So now I can just send him back. He can be retrained. I can't train feudal knights in Novgorod. No, I cannot. So you can go back to Denmark and you can be retrained there. That'll be fine because that will give you some better armor as well. In fact, I could send him to Sweden. No, I can't train feudal knights in Sweden. Oh, jeez. Okay. That's fine. That's okay, I reckon. And yeah, we will just keep cracking on in the next episodes. So we still have a ways to go before my fortress is finished here in Novgorod and Lithuania. Sweden is working on getting to the chivalric knights. And Norway is working on getting to the pikemen at some point. So yeah, you know, we will be getting those late game armies going eventually. What is it, 1352? Oh god. So We have 101 turns left to this campaign. And yeah, how long before it's really tough sometimes to get those late game armies out that you want to play around with, just because by the time I get these buildings finished and by the time I get these armies trained up, it might be closer to the year 1400, which is still plenty of time for me to go down and have some fun in Egypt. It is. Yeah. I just want to make sure I keep them alive long enough, you know. Guys, don't fight against any... Wow, that is a lot of elm heads. Are they going to go to war with me? Huh. I hadn't really thought of that as being an option, but I guess it's very much an option. Yeah. That would be cool. I mean, after all, I am doing this whole thing where I am keeping my borders lightly defended. You know, that's kind of been a thing that I've been doing for the last, 10 episodes or so of this campaign. And, it did get me a few attacks from the Mongols, I think, and the Germans thought about it and then thought against it. But yeah, would the Almohads take the bait? They might. They really, really might. And that could be fun. Haven't had a fight in a while. I'm going to have to make sure that before the next time I record an episode, I have to get a custom battle in just to remind myself of the controls of this game. I have been playing so much Rome that when I played my last episode of Shogun last week, oh my God, it was, it was a mess. It was a mess. Wow. I knew that it would be tough to switch back and forth, but I underestimated how tough it was going to be for me to reacquaint myself with the controls for that last episode. And Shogun is all fighting. It's not like in Medieval where you can just do this and kind of sit and be fat and be happy for episode after episode. In Shogun, it's just fight, the whole thing, So I was just like, oh my God, it's so rough. And yeah, so I need to get a custom battle in. Just because if they attack me and it's like a big battle, oh man, I need to be on it. What would the terrain be like if they attacked from Franconia into Saxony? It looks like it would be flatland. Lush grassland, flatland. And that could go well for my chivalric knights. My chivalric knights can work well in flatland. What about Friesland into Saxony? Same thing, flatland. I don't know what the difference between plains and flatland is. That sounds similar to me, but what do I know? What do I know? In any case, that is all. Going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Conasep playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.